As I am preparing your cards, I wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that I am doing this reading from, the Gumbaynggirr people, and recognise their continuing connection to the lands, waters, communities, and their culture. I pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your June 2023 reading. I'm Lou from Empress Blue, and welcome to Gemini season. Gemini representing your 7th house in your chart, representing the house of the other, people you relate with, your intimate partners, your business partners, clients, anyone you have that one-on-one contract with and that one-on-one connection with. Will be affected, will be influenced this month. And so that's looking at how you relate to other people, what role other people play in your life, and all the growth and expansion that you'll be receiving this month will be through other people, through the mirror of other people, through your connections with other people. What's really interesting when the sun is in the 7th house is that it actually reflects back at us. It's putting that spotlight on the 1st house. So that's why other people, when you're in relationships with other people, it's the best way for you to learn about yourself, and it provides you with some of the best growth and expansion that you can experience in life. And what I'm seeing coming through this reading already is that that spotlight going on to yourself, because we have over here, we have the self, and is the energy you're coming in with, and we have independence over here, which is that first house energy of who am I in this connection, who am I in this relationship, what do I bring to this table, and what is this person reflecting back to me. So let's dive into this card first. We've got this self-worth, self-love, self-value, self-respect. Now that will be what you're exploring. That's the energy you're coming into this reading with. And it's what you'll be exploring throughout June. So we have the sun in your 7th house, and we have Venus in the 8th house, and moving very quickly on June the 5th into the 9th house. Now we'll talk about that in a minute, because that's a really important transit as Venus is preparing for a retrograde there. But let's just talk about the beginning of the month. What this all means is really looking at your own value, your own self-worth, and your own self-respect. That's really 8th house energy. And as you're exploring the 7th house, you're exploring your connections, your partnerships, your relationships. As you're exploring all of that energy, what it's asking you to do is to look at yourself. So it's really important to see, like, if there's negative aspects of somebody that comes up for you this month, or if there's positive aspects of somebody that comes up for you this month, it's really important to remember that's a mirror of yourself and a mirror of what's within, what's internal. And as you are triggered, or triggered to have that negative response to somebody, or you're triggered to have a positive response to someone, even recognizing things that you really love about somebody, don't forget that that's your intuition. That's the way your intuition speaks to you. We have the intuition card here. And that's the way that your inner being, your soul, your body communicates with you around the ways that we can improve the things that you can identify within yourself, your own identity. With the independence card here as well, is how are you in this connection? Are you losing yourself? Are you codependent? Are you coming from a place of low self-worth, low self-esteem? Or are you finding your own value within this connection? Remembering that to be in an interdependent relationship is the ultimate goal. There's those 3 stages of relationships, and we go from codependency into independence, which we have here, and then the next step up is interdependence. Now most people don't make it even to independence. They get stuck in codependence. As children, we're born into this codependent relationship with our parents. We are reliant on our parents to provide for us, and we're dependent on them. And then as you progress into adulthood, you become independent. Now we have the full moon on June the 4th in your first house, in your sign Sagittarius. Now that is happening at, let me just check, 13 degrees of Sagittarius. So have a look at your own chart. If you have any, your sun or your ascendant at 13 degrees, it will be even more significant for you this moon. And that's asking you to look at yourself, look at your identity, look at your independence. Is your independence serving you or is it hindering you? Because it's also important to note here that independence can be a sign of covert codependence. If we're too independent and we're not allowing other people to step in and be a part of this interdependent connection with ourselves, with us, and building something better than ourselves, than the two individual parts. If we're stuck in that strong independence and holding people back from ourselves, it's because we haven't shifted through, we haven't grown, and we haven't progressed through that codependence, and we're scared. And we're scared that if somebody comes into our lives, they will shake us and they will shift us and they'll shift what we've created for ourselves. And that's a sign of being still stuck in that codependent energy. Now, in the environment card, we have the illusion. So be careful. Be careful of illusions coming up for you this month through your environment, which most likely, as I've already mentioned a lot of times, most likely is going to come from the reflection, that mirror from other people. So it might be that somebody comes up into your life, or somebody you're very close to triggers you, and you're feeling very hurt, or you're feeling very emotional, or a lot of turmoil involving another person. And it's important to remember that that's always an illusion, in that if you're feeling that the other person has any power over you, the other person has any control over you, the other person is impacting your self-worth, your self-esteem, that's all an illusion. Nobody has the power to do that to you. Nobody has the power to impact your self-esteem unless you let them. That's what's important here to remember. So codependent people who are in a codependent relationship, that their partner will influence them in a negative way, that because they're dependent on their partner for those external validations, for that external respect, that external value, that external love, that external worth. Okay, so it's really important this month to be looking at that. Are you receiving that validation externally, or are you receiving it from within? And all the places where you're receiving it externally will be reflected to you. And this is a really good time to look at that and not be, not fall for the illusion that this is happening to you, and recognizing that everything's happening for you and everything's happening through you. So what is external is coming back to you. What's internal is reflected back to you. So if you're experiencing situations that are lacking in some way, it's remembering that, bringing that back to the self and what's happening internally, and finding that worth and that value and that respect within yourself first. And then other people will meet you halfway. They will match you. The other thing to look at is this card. We've got the rainbow lorikeet here, the love language. I love that with what's happening with the Venus retrograde coming in. So Venus will move retrograde on July the 23rd until September 4th. So we have another month and a bit till this happens. But like I said, Venus will move into Leo on June the 5th and begin to slow down. So this we will start to feel what this Venus retrograde is going to be about throughout June. We'll start to get an idea. And then in July, at the end of July, it will move retrograde, and then we'll be dealing with it. So it's a really great idea to start doing the work now and set yourself up, prepare yourself for what this retrograde will be bringing in. Now, Venus is moving retrograde into your 9th house. And your 9th house is all about your fundamental beliefs. It's all about your perspective. It's all about the way you view life and your philosophy, the philosophy that you approach life from. And I love about this love language is that's exactly what this Venus retrograde is going to be looking at. What is your love language? What's the love language of your partner? What love language are you attracting to you? what love language is not showing up in your life. And that will be the work. That's really the crux of what you'll be dealing with the Venus retrograde next month. So this month, observing those things, ask yourself those questions. What is my love language? What are my needs in this relationship, or in a relationship that I'm calling towards myself, calling into my life? What do I need from that person, and what do I need from myself? What do I expect of myself? And looking at the underlying belief systems, the belief structures that you're carrying, your limited and your expanded beliefs around love, and getting your needs met in loving situations, in romantic situations, in deep connections. This Venus retrograde, the 9th house is your natural home, Sagittarius, so it will be a really nice and gentle, pleasant experience for you. I don't see it upsetting Sagittarius at all, but it's an opportunity to dive deep into that stuff, to really dive in and get a handle on this, so that you can progress and evolve your romantic relationships, your connections, your love experiences, not just with intimate partners, but also with your friends, your children, your family, yourself mostly. Most of all, we're looking at how you love yourself, what love language you're speaking to yourself, and how that then is being reflected back to the world. So as we're diving into the block, what I find the most interesting about these cards is, if you look at this middle row, we have 3 kings. We've got the King of Swords, the King of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. So all we're missing here is the King of Wands. Now, this could be either you. So this is representing you, and you're coming through. If in that scenario, you are coming through in a very firm masculine position. They're all in the upright, so they're all solid in themselves. And that's telling me that you are in a position of taking action, but also being decisive and being a leader in your life, calling in what is necessary for this growth and expansion that's coming through this month. The other, the alternative is that this could be representing your partner. So the person on the other side of the scale to you, that person that the 7th house is representing, and they're coming through with that same energy. They're coming through with the divine masculine, very strong divine masculine energy, okay? Alternatively, this could be 3 people, but I don't feel that's the case. I feel like it's either representing you or representing your partner, or both. Now you're coming in with the Magician. We start the block with the Magician. That is the Mercury, the card of Mercury. And Mercury will be shifting into Gemini. Mercury just did a retrograde last month in your 6th house. And I think that you did a lot through that. You realigned and you've really reconsidered your daily habits, your daily life, your health needs as well. And so you'll be communicating a lot of that, that love language to your partner. A lot of, okay, this is what I need for my body, for my health, for my well-being. I really need you to meet me in this way. I need you to, help me with, say it's your diet, if you've been readjusting your diet or doing an exercise activity. It's like, hey babe, I need you to not have chocolate in the house. It's that kind of stuff. So you've been really playing with that through that Mercury retrograde. And now on June 11th, Mercury will move into Gemini. Gemini is the star sign of Mercury, okay? And so this Magician card is really also signifying all that Gemini energy that we're in this month. But Gemini, Mercury in Gemini is really strong. And so what this is saying to me is that there's a lot of communication coming through with your partner. And that makes a lot of sense, right? With all that 7th house energy, with Venus moving retrograde next month, there's a lot of communication. And I think this is a really positive thing for you, Sagittarius. I think that you can get to the bottom of a lot of things. You can open up discussions that possibly weren't there, especially around your own self-worth and what you're struggling with, these illusions that are coming up for you. We have on the bottom of the deck the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Beautiful. So there's clarity coming through. So if this King of Swords is your partner, they're open and they're ready to hear you. This communication will flow very nicely. And Mercury moving very quickly through Gemini, things will be sorted out very quickly. And as the communication opens and flows very quickly, ideas will come, ideas, and there'll be a chance to reassess, judgment card, reassess situations that maybe weren't working for you or for your partner. If this is you in the King of Swords energy, you're expressing yourself very clearly. Well done, Sagittarius. It's really important to communicate your needs and your love language and what you need to feel valued, to feel respected in these situations. And as you're communicating that with your partner, there'll be a chance to reflect, there'll be a chance to reassess the situation, and the relationship, not reassessing the relationship, but reassessing parts within the relationship that need to improve or need to develop, need to change. This is a really great month for that, to iron out those wrinkles, to expand this relationship to the next level. I mean, I'm not seeing any disruption or chaos here, so I think this is really positive communication, really positive energy where you can grow. And as you reevaluate and you reflect over what's working, what's not working, what needs to improve, I think we've got the Knight of Coins here, which is about putting in those next logical steps and adjusting, and doing it with precision and doing it deliberately. So you and your person will be in a position to try out new ideas, to create change. The Knight of Coins is the details. The Knight of Coins really looks at the details, and it's not a fast energy. He's doing it slowly for the long run. He wants longevity. He's interested in making this last, so that you can get everything that you need. You can get all your needs met, the 10 of Coins here. And also that you can get all your emotional needs met, the King of Cups. So we've got the King of Cups where you are expressing, not only you're expressing your thoughts and communicating really clearly, you're expressing your emotions really clearly. And it's coming from a place of your intuition. It's coming from a deeper place. And that's why this person is ready to listen. They're ready to hear you out, because you're saying to them with a lot of respect and a lot of value, hey, look, this is really what I need. We're so close. We're so close to this 10 of Coins. We're so close to having the life that we want and the relationship that we want and the energy that we want between us. And these are just the little bits of the little kinks that we need to work out to go to that next level. And as you advance to that next level, and as this stuff starts to cement into your life and starts to improve, things will change around even more so, and you become to the King of Coins, which is where it's just where you're looking down over your life and everything is there. Everything's met. All those needs are met. Your physical needs are met. All your resources are met. And that's not just in the physical world, not just money, housing, all of that stuff, but also your needs in your relationship, within your connections are all met. And it's worth investing that time and energy into this. The 7 of Coins, it really is worth that. Now, another storyline that's just coming up a little bit here is, and this can happen a lot when the 7th house is highly activated, is that maybe your partner might need your support, and they may need you to be take a back seat and help them a little. So they may be going through something, and if that is the case for you, Sagittarius, your partner is trying to improve their career and their standing within the world. So they're trying really hard to maybe they get a new job, or they're working longer hours at the office, and they're trying to bring in and attract more money, more resources, more opportunities. And they really need your understanding. They really need you to help them through this. And possibly, if this has already been happening for a while, and it may be affecting your ability to get your needs met. And And that may be what this communication is about. Hey, look, you know, you're spending a lot of time in the office. I understand you're doing this for us. You're doing this for us to have a better life, but I'm really missing you. I'm missing, I just need, you know, I need us to connect. I need us to have a date night or something like that, you know. And that's the kind of stuff that you can explore this month, and also through the Venus retrograde that starts next month, really getting to the bottom of all of that, and so that both of your needs are met, because this is, you know, this is about two people who can expand in this situation. Both can become the best versions of themselves through this connection. And also remembering that as you are supporting your person, is to remember that you can fill your own cup. So being somebody else's replenishing well, if that other person is needing a lot from you at this time, you have to fill your own cup first. You can't just keep giving and giving and giving to this person without taking care and tending to yourself, taking care of and tending to yourself and your own needs as well. And that's not selfish. That is how we then flow our cup over and help and support the people that we love the way they need us to. And also I just want to cover all the bases. So if you are single and this doesn't apply to a relationship that you're in at the moment, this is about tending to your own career, tending to your own success, your own needs. So we've got the Independence card here, and I'm seeing with all these coins cards, you could be the one having that, going through all that career change and all of that, and advancing in that way and finding a lot of independence, and finding your footing, and remembering that, bringing that power back to yourself, but not cutting yourself off from allowing other people to come into your life and be a support for you and a support network for you. It isn't a sign of weakness when we lean on other people. It's a sign of strength when we allow other people to be in our lives, but we can also, we're not reliant on them for the validation, if that makes sense. So let's get some clarifying cards and clarify the self. And we've got the Eight of Swords in reverse, beautiful. The Tower. And the Emperor. Fabulous. So this is that illusion disappearing, okay? So this is what we do when we breaking down that illusion. So any illusions that you've had of yourself, of the way that you are in this connection or in a connection, any illusions that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy enough. I mean, like, there is so much worth and value here in this reading, and you have so much innate worth and value. So if there's anything that's happening in your life, or anything that has happened in the past that's made you feel less than worthy, or less than lovable, less than valuable, and felt disrespected, knowing that if you're holding on to any of that energy, that's an illusion. That's not real. That's not who you are. And that's what this Venus retrograde, the work you're preparing to do through that Venus retrograde, we're going to untangle any of that self-limiting beliefs that are holding you back from being this King of Coins, Ten of Coins, expanded version of yourself, very successful version of yourself. And I love with the Emperor there as well, and this Independence card, the Emperor is the ruler of his own domain. And this comes back to what I was talking about validating yourself. The Emperor validates himself. He doesn't isolate himself, but he knows he has, you know, the Emperor has a team of people around him that help him to make decisions, but ultimately it comes down to him, and he knows his own value, he knows his own worth, and he makes those decisions for himself. He can validate himself from the inside out. And so this is, I mean, for some of you, this could be a Tower moment, having these realizations. For some of you, a Tower moment may come into your life, or may have already come into your life, to bring this lesson to you, and that's what you're working through. If you've got this, if you're environment or your situation is chaotic at the moment, coming back to that baseline, coming back to that fundamental sense of worth and value within yourself, and giving that to yourself, validating yourself, and not looking for it externally is the answer. It is what will get you through any tower moments that are causing you any upheaval this month. Clarify the illusion card. We've got the Nine of Coins, we've got the High Priestess, and we've got the Queen of Wands. Beautiful. Three of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so again, this comes back to what I was saying earlier about this independence card, and being really careful that if you are a very independent person, recognizing that when that's appropriate and when that's also holding you back, and is that covert codependency playing out in your life. If you're not allowing other people to come into your life because of fear that they will rock the boat, or that they will knock your alignment, or you're creating this whole life for yourself, this Coins energy, this stability and strength, and you're completely self-sufficient and you don't need anybody else. If you're in that energy, knowing that that's an illusion, and that's what's holding you back from expanding to that next level, because life is about relationships, and other people coming into our life is really important. It's important that we can connect, and if you feel like somebody else could have the power to knock you out of alignment, or to block your success, or to stop you from getting to where you need to be, to stop you from being a powerful Queen of Wands, powerful creative entity, Queen of Wands energy, that's an illusion. Then that's a way of showing you that actually this independent version that you've created around yourself is quite fragile. It's easy to crumble, the tower, if somebody else can come in and knock you off that. So true authentic power that comes from within is not going to waver no matter who's in your life, no matter who you're connecting with, no matter what the situation is, because it comes from within. It's not dependent on external factors. It's not dependent on other people and other people's opinions, other people's thoughts about you. Obviously, if you were to have an argument with somebody, or there's an unpleasant situation, it can upset you and it can cause you pain. But then you sort of, a person who's very powerful and connected to their innate power, if they are knocked, they will come back to alignment very quickly, because that power is coming from within. The High Priestess, beautiful, coming up here with the intuition card, reminding you as well that all the answers are coming from within yourself. And so if something doesn't feel right, if something is happening in your life and you're feeling like, this just doesn't add up, none of this adds up, trust your intuition, okay? Trust your intuition that it's an illusion, that somebody's pulled the wool over your eyes, or this experience is pulling the wool over your eyes. Your intuition will tell you every time, and your intuition is always on point. And part of trusting your intuition is having that self-respect, that self-worth, and trusting yourself. Having trust in yourself is a part of having that powerful alignment with self. And every time that we trust ourselves and we trust our intuition and we follow it, we are sending a message and a signal to ourselves that we are worthy, that we are valid. So it's a really powerful way to actually validate yourself, is by listening to yourself and listening to your intuition. So let's get some cards that clarify what the universe is mirroring to you this month. Sagittarius, what's the universe mirroring to you? And we have abundance. Beautiful. I love that with these coins, all these coins here. Things could really turn around for you or for your partner this month as well, with a lot of abundance flowing in with all these coins and the Wheel of Fortune, and And that could come from your daily work as well. We do have Jupiter, which is your ruling planet, conjunct the North Node in your 6th house for most of the month, okay? And so that could be bringing you a lot of karmic energy that's sort of paying you, and a lot of blessings for anything that you've worked hard towards. And that could be in your daily work life coming through with a lot of abundance. Now, again, abundance can only flow to you in proportion to how much worth that you feel within yourself. So your finances are a reflection of how you feel about yourself. So remembering, if abundance is not flowing into your life, that's the mirror, that's the reflection that's telling you that you have this self-worth to deal with. This low self-worth and this illusion that you're not worthy is the crux of the situation that needs to be dealt with. What else is being mirrored to Sagittarius this month? You have universal mind. Yes, so we've got this intuition card, the High Priestess here in the environment as well. So the more that you trust and lean into trusting your intuition, lean into your intuition and your inner knowing, the more that you act on that, the more the universe will reflect that back to you, the stronger that will become, the more you will see it playing out in your life. And we have silence. Interesting. We have silence with all of this, the communication that I was talking about at the beginning of the reading, where there's a lot of communication and really positive things coming from this communication with your partner, with your significant other, or somebody else that's really important in your life. And the silence card coming out here. So if that is not happening for you, what's really important for you to do is to have a think about how you are listening. Okay, so part of communication is listening to another person, or also listening to yourself, listening to your intuition. And so if there is conflict happening for you in your communications, or if the conflict is coming from within, this internal conflict, drop back into silence and just listen. Listen to the other person without any need to respond, and listen to your intuition without any need to project any judgments on it. We did have the Judgment card up here too. So being aware of the judgments that you're putting on, and trying this month, try it out and see what just listening does, without responding, without judging, without trying to fix anything. And if you can do that, watch what's reflected back to you from that experience. And that is your June 2023 reading, Sagittarius. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you got something out of it. If this resonated with you, if you liked this reading, please could you like, share, subscribe. It really helps me, and I would be so grateful and so appreciative of it. Even just subscribing to my channel is a big help. And I look forward to seeing you again in July, sorry, skipping a month. Yeah, see you in July, Sagittarius. Thank you.